Hi, I'm Brad Garlinghouse. As many of you know, I don't often make videos like this, but then again, not every week has been like this one. A few days ago, after 2 years, 7 court orders, and over $100 million in legal bills, the Hinman speech documents, including internal SEC emails and comments leading up to this now infamous 2018 speech, they've finally been unsealed. Hinman's speech created new factors to determine if a token becomes sufficiently decentralized to no longer be considered a security. At best, these documents show that senior officials at the SEC couldn't agree on the law and told Bill Hinman directly he would confuse the public even more about the rules for crypto. At worst, they show that Hinman deliberately ignored the law, and he tried to create new laws, something only Congress can do. And while he was a public servant, Hinman received millions of dollars of payments from his law firm, which was part of an alliance with others that had a vested interest in this speech. This speech isn't about any one token or any one blockchain. This is about showing the extent to which the SEC has relentlessly pursued enforcement actions against crypto players while professing fake open arms and calls to come in and register, all the while lying about their so-called guidance. As some of you may know, Ripple spent years proactively engaging with the SEC. I personally met with Jay Clayton and Bill Hinman, with no lawyer present. Why would I need a lawyer if we were all coming together in good faith? We answered every question they had, and not once did they suggest to me that XRP was a security. We were fully transparent, not knowing they would then use this information against us. The SEC hit us with a surprise Wells notice saying they were considering suing us for breaking securities laws and still refused to provide specifics. To those that have recently been hit with their own Wells notices and lawsuits, this likely sounds all too familiar. When the lawsuit did drop against us, days before Christmas, a very Grinch-like touch, they made it personal. They sued Chris Larson and they sued myself, alleging we should have known all along that XRP was a security. You can now see plain as day, they couldn't even agree amongst themselves. And to me, it still seems like they can't. What we saw play out in our case is exactly what's still happening. The SEC is looking to kill crypto innovation in the United States, and its current chair, an unelected bureaucrat I might add, is weaponizing the lack of regulatory clarity to exert jurisdiction over the entire crypto space. This is the definition of putting politics over people. It's the pursuit of power over sound policy. The SEC tried to bully us into acquiescing. Thankfully, we have had the resources to fight back. And now we can all see what they've fought so hard to hide. They knowingly created confusion about the rules, and they used that confusion to regulate through enforcement. That's bad faith, plain and simple. Ultimately, as our lawsuit comes to a close, for so many others, it's just starting. The fight for clarity has to continue.
Jay, let me ask you about something that it winds up in my Twitter feed constantly. I've tried to look into it and done a little research on it. There's this argument about an action that the SEC brought on your last day as the chair of the SEC. This was the one to go after Ripple Labs executives, the CEO, the general counsel, and others, and kind of come after them for some sales that they had planned and whether they were upfront. There has been all kinds of speculation because Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO, the general counsel, have been very public and they're pushing back and fighting the SEC on this. And they've done some mudslinging and said that you and others at the SEC were compromised in this decision, that you had input that was coming in from people who are maybe Ethereum fans or others along the way. I get this question constantly. I just want to put it to you. What happened and what do you say to those accusations?
Well, Becky, I'm not going to comment on any pending investigation or action in front of the SEC. I think
going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, well, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread it all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the books Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book. Remember, the New World Order book shows you how the world really works, and it is definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep, especially in the times that we're in right now. Now, guys, I told you in 2023 in the first quarter, we would get an event. And now we have the banking collapse, which the master magicians pulled off the perfect distraction. And at the end of the third quarter, going into the fourth quarter, guys, we're going to have another main event. Now, of course, the markets will still pump and dump until we get that next crisis. Guys, we know they're going to pull that rug. And all we have to do is watch the Fed to know exactly when that's about to happen. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. We all know this channel is shadow banned. Now, guys, in my Patreon, I keep you up to date with the New World Order events, and then also I give you the New World Order cryptos. But, of course, you have to do your own research. But, guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And guys, right now we have Bitcoin and crypto moving back up, back in that same trading range after the Blackrock news. Now, guys, don't forget, Blackrock came in at about 17,000 with the deal with Coinbase. And I'll talk about Blackrock later on in the video. But guys, don't forget, we're the only game in town. Now, don't forget to pay attention to the actual indicators. On Friday, we had yield rates move up, but still off the highs. We have the dollar moved up, but as we see, still off the highs. And then, of course, in crypto, the volume is still low. We have Tether USDC. And then, of course, guys, we have the Fed. Repo at $2 trillion. And the repo has been fluctuating, guys. Make sure you keep an eye on that. But we know the central banks are still raising rates, running off the balance sheet in order to destroy this legacy market so the fourth industrial revolution can rise. Whether robots, algorithms, and drones take the economy over, pay each other with crypto, and the sheep go inside the metaverse. And guys, if you're a part of my Patreon, I went to the Fed's website, pulled the Treasury General account. It's definitely going back up slightly. But guys, we know no one wants the United States paper for a long period of time. Short term is wonderful. Long term, they don't want it because they know the whole economy is going to be put on blockchain and tokenized. And that's going to get rid of the United States world reserve currency. And we see all the countries moving away from the dollar. And guys, remember, this is a plan. So it moves in phases. It is not going to happen overnight. But on this channel, I clearly show you the wheels are turning and they're starting to speed up. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now, guys, don't forget about Grayscale, sent about $22.2 billion. But getting over into a little crypto news, we have Binance and the SEC strike deal to move all U.S. customer funds and wallet keys back onshore. And guys, we know this is nothing but another SEC movie. And then plus we have Blackrock spot Bitcoin ETF, not the same as Grayscale product. Of course it's not. Remember, Grayscale is trying to get a spot Bitcoin ETF. So most likely, this first time that Blackrock is going to submit, we know the SEC is probably going to deny it because Grayscale already has a lawsuit against the SEC and they're trying to get a spot Bitcoin ETF. So either they're going to approve both of them or they're not going to approve neither one of them. But with that said, we're definitely going to get a Bitcoin ETF eventually. It's not like we don't have spot Bitcoin ETFs across the globe. And then lastly, guys, we have Brad Garlinghouse does an infomercial about the SEC. And guys, we know this is nothing but a movie. And as he says, the movie is about to come to an end. This case lasted longer than the OJ case. This is amazing. All the funds being wasted. Taxpayers' dollars on a movie. And that's exactly what it is, guys. Jay Clayton started it, handed it over to Gary Gensler, and of course, he's been kicking the can down the road. And this was all about holding the United States back so the emerging markets can lead. And we know the emerging markets are ready to flip that switch next year. And then when it comes to the United States, we have Fed now in a few weeks, and we know they like to test it for at least a year, and then we'll start flipping that switch in 2025. And we know they're ready to turn on the robots, algorithms, and drones. That's the reason why we're getting this push in AI. But remember, guys, normally when you see a push in an industry, it's from the small companies. But all the benefits has been going to these top 10 corporations. They're the only ones who've been benefiting from this AI bubble. And we know when it comes to the sheep, they're thinking AI is new, not knowing that AI has been worked on for about 3 decades. And we know the NWO is ready to bring out the robots, algorithms, and drones to take this economy over. And of course, give the people the free money. Airdrop them that free money, those CBDCs. Telling them what, when, and how to buy. And they have 3 to 6 months to spend it or poof, it's gone. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Because he knows. When it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. But guys, all I have for you. Don't forget about the books. Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book. Plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.